Ladies and gentlemen, here I am, waiting for this dumbass again. I can't believe this shit. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, again, this is the second time in a fucking row that this shit is happening. Like, I think this is...
Wait a minute, wait, shut the hell up. I am present, I am here. The show only starts when I'm here. I don't even have my headset on, I'm not even ready. You want to start this crap without me again? I was ready. I was right over here waiting. You go ahead and start this shit when I'm not even looking. Trying to show like I'm non-professional. Like,
well,
I can't
listen here, sir. You're the one that's just sitting there.
I was
waiting,
You're the
one that's
sweetheart.
just sitting there.
You're the one who started this video. You started it before I was even ready. Okay? So don't pull the whole I was late crap again. I was right here waiting for the cue from Jimmy
You're
to start the show.
supposed to be sitting there waiting. You're supposed to be sitting there. You're supposed to be there. That's how this shit starts. And you weren't there. Again. You were late.
I was waiting for the cue from Jimmy. Jimmy didn't give me the cue to come on, and then you just go ahead and start the live stream without me.
Oh, Jimmy, your personal slave.
Yes, Jimmy, he just gave me, when I came walking in, he gave me the whole rolling. I came in, you already started. Don't pull the whole I'm late.
You know, there's a reason why no one likes Jimmy.
Well, I like Jimmy.
You're the only one.
But we need to get down to business. So, ladies and gentlemen.
I guess we need to get down to brass tacks.
Let's go ahead and start this crap, ladies and gentlemen.
We're indoors.
Be quiet, Mr. Mack.
We're in fucking doors, and you're wearing sunglasses.
It's called looking professional, Mr. Mack, something you don't know anything about. Where's your tie at? Did you get the memo from Jimmy? This is not casual Friday. It's not even Friday. So, are you going to be opening the show or not? Huh, Mr. Mack?
You're wearing sunglasses indoors.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to
the fucking circus?
You're here, so maybe it is.
I'll see here. You're the one wearing a bullshit tie and dumbass sunglasses.
Hey, at least I look professional, unlike you, Mr. Mack.
You look
what do you
professional?
look
like? That tie isn't even around your damn neck. Would you glue it?
It's called staples. It's not, and I kind of stapled it to my chest.
You stapled the tie to your shirt.
Yeah,
How
Jimmy
much of a hurry were you in?
Long story short,
you must have been in a pretty big hurry, considering the fact that you weren't in your chair by the time.
Oh, I don't have my chair right now, Mr. Mack. I wonder where my chair is. Where is my chair, Mr. Mack?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you should go ask Jimmy, seeing as how he knows everything.
Yeah, I should ask Jimmy. You're the one who sold my chair, Mr. Mack.
Why the hell would I sell your chair?
Well, it's not here right now, is it?
That's not my problem.
I believe it is your problem, Mr. Mack.
How is it my problem?
Because you're the last one in the studio. Last week.
So?
I showed up to the Fave 5, which, by the way, check out the channel at youtube.com/JKReport under Fave 5 WB Feuds. I showed up to do the video. My chair was missing. My Coke was missing. Jimmy, where's my Coke at? Go, Jimmy.
Wow.
Get me the Coke.
Really?
Go.
Really? You're going to send Jimmy?
I'm going to send Jimmy.
To get you your beverage.
Yes, because unlike you, I have a good manager who works very efficient, but apparently doesn't lock the studio up when Mr. Mack has yet to leave.
Well, gee, now you know how I felt.
He's not incompetent. He's just forgetful. Go get me the Coke, Jimmy. I don't care if the beverage machine is empty. Go across the street to 7-Eleven and get me the Coke.
Are you sure it's a beverage?
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not...
You're the one in the sunglasses, you know, I'm just saying. Don't want to get any in your eye now. It'd be a pretty damn shame if you got Coca-Cola in your eye.
Well, Mr. Mack, can we get on with this video? Are you just going to keep making fun of how good I look?
You look like a sad... I don't even know. There's not even a word to describe it.
I look awesome, Mr. Mack. That's the word to describe it. That's it, Mr. Mack. Be quiet. We are going to get...
You're forgetting the sports jacket.
Actually, I'm not forgetting the sports jacket. I just took it off because it was hot in the studio. You want my
Oh,
blazer?
God.
You
He
want me to wear the
actually
blazer? I'll wear the
has a blazer.
blazer.
He actually has a blazer.
You want me to wear the blazer? I'll wear the blazer.
You believe that? He actually has a blazer.
Okay, Mr. Mac, you want me to wear the blazer? The blazer's on. You ready? Are
You
you
look
ready to
like
do
Elton
this?
John, who's about to do sports casting.
Well, Mr. Mac, at least I look good.
Why does that jacket look like my mother's?
I don't know. Is your mother a man, Mr. Mac? Because this is a man's jacket from Men's
I don't know.
Warehouse.
That looks like a woman's jacket to me. From the
Well,
angle I'm sitting at.
yeah, because you're sitting like a very unprofessional person, Mr. Mac.
No, I'm sitting like a comfy motherfucker. I don't know about you. Standing up, got a tie glued to your shirt. You got sunglasses that probably look like prescription lenses.
You, don't judge my sunglasses, Mr. Mac.
You're indoors. That's all I have to say.
And yet you're sitting there bitching I didn't have my blazer on. Well, now I have my blazer on, and now I'm ready to get the show on the road.
Why does that look like a winter jacket?
Mr. Mac, are you going to keep judging about the way I choose to wear my clothing?
Yeah.
You're going to keep judging me.
Yeah.
I thought this was a judgment-free zone, Mr. Mac.
Well, obviously you were mistaken.
Thank you, Jimmy. This video is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Now, let's get down to brass tacks here, ladies and gentlemen. This video, if you've not read from the title up above, this video is the second edition of the career breakdown. This particular episode, we will be breaking down the career of Mr. Randy Orton, who has been wrestling since 2002 to present.
You almost called him Miss Randy Orton.
Are you going to get? Are we going to be able to get this video on the road or not, Mr. Mac?
Maybe. I don't know. Depends.
Are you just keep making fun of the way I talk and the way I look, Mr. Mac?
Well, I've been doing it so far, and I've been making myself laugh.
You're the only one who's been laughing, Mr. Mac. And also, I'll be taking it out of your pay.
What was that little sniff there for? You got something you want to maybe mention? Are you sure?
I cannot talk about that on the air right now, Mr. Mac. So let's get this going.
Wow.
But I'm ready to do this. Are you ready to do this, Mr. Mac?
I guess so.
I have my blazer on. I have my sunglasses on. I have my tie on. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
The fact that tie is full of shit, just like you.
Okay. Very well, Mr. Mac. Let's get this going. Are you going to let me get this video on the road?
Yes, let's just get it done already.
Good. And I'm sorry for the first 5 minutes of this video of Mr. Mac not knowing how to start a video.
You mean 5 minutes of pretty much telling you what's on the mind of everyone else who watches this video?
That's a lie. I'm awesome, and they love me.
Well, let's let them decide.
Let's let them decide. Who do you, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this video, who do you prefer? Mr. Mac over there, or myself, Mr. K?
Truthful, or you want to believe fake tie over there?
Oh, because you're so truthful. You're so truthful, huh?
I'm being honest, I prefer not to do the whole sports jacket thing, do the blazer, do the button-up suit. Got the fake-ass sunglasses on, because first of all, I'm indoors.
Well, Mr. Mac, some of us like to look good when we're on TV.
And some people prefer to just sit here and watch people like you make a fool out of yourself. Quite honestly, it's pretty entertaining.
Mr. Mac. Mr. Mac, why do you insist on doing this every time we do a video? Can't we just get a video done without us bickering for 20 minutes?
Well, if you didn't look like a complete dumbass, then maybe we could actually get this underway.
Is there anything else you would like to talk about? My clothing, my jacket, my pants.
I'd rather not see what you're wearing below the belt. But
you want to see it?
No, thank you.
You want to make fun of it? Let's make fun of it.
No, thank you. No, don't.
See? See?
No.
You got anything else to say?
Oh my God, you got the khakis on too.
Do you have anything else you would like to say, Mr. Mac?
No, I think I've pretty much hit every nail on the head so far.
so we can get this video going finally. Is
I
that what you're
think we
saying?
can. Yeah, probably.
I have the blazer, I have the khakis, I have the tie. You made fun of all of it. Are you ready to let me do this video?
I'm set. Don't worry.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get this video going. This is a career breakdown of one Mr. Randy Orton. Randy Orton has been wrestling since 2002, and he has accumulated, I believe, 11 World Championships, 1 IC Championship, and 1 Tag Team Championships. He has never won a Slammy. He's won the Money in the Bank once and won the Rumble in 2009. I believe those are all his achievements. Am I wrong, Mr. Mack? Or is there some achievements you looked up?
Well, the fact that he hasn't been wrestling since '02, it was earlier than that. He was in a little place called OVW.
Oh, you went there, huh, Mr. Mack?
I did.
You had to be technical.
Well, a lot of people are going to disagree with that. And the last thing we need is people disagreeing with other people over the internet, because we all know where that leads to.
Well, Mr. Mack, how come you didn't say anything last week about John Cena, who's been wrestling?
Has been racing. I see the actual Coca-Colas. It's actually been doing something.
Jimmy, what was in that Coke?
Obviously something more than the word.
Seriously?
Wow, he tries to cover up his mic, trying to be all, yeah, look at him there. I don't know if you guys can see it, because this is...
Well, it doesn't matter what was in the Coke. We're going to get this video going one way or another. So we're going to talk about Randy Orton. His first foray into the World Wrestling Entertainment in 2002 saw Eric Bischoff and Stephanie McMahon battling for his affection, or his contract, so to speak, which eventually got him to sign with Raw, where he had a very...
Well, don't forget now, his debut match was against Hardcore Holly on SmackDown. Don't forget about that.
Would you like to take over from here, Mr. Mack?
It was a decent match. Orton run with a kind of a bullshit roll-up, if you ask me, but not even a roll-up. But still, decent match.
Now, Randy Orton spent most of 2002 doing absolutely nothing until he got with a little group called Evolution and turned heel and became the future, so to speak, the diamond in the coal.
He as Triple H said, he was the coal that would be squeezed into the next diamond.
And he stayed with Evolution up until, I believe, 2004.
Yep.
Where he accumulated one.
But let's not. Yeah. But
where he accumulated one. Where he won his first WWE Championship in the form of an Intercontinental Championship, where he went on to hold it for the span of, I believe, 9 months.
7 months.
7 months, which at the time was a record, and up until Shelton Benjamin broke it.
It was the longest reign in a decade at that point.
Until Shelton Benjamin broke it, but then he lost the championship to Edge at Vengeance 04.
Yes.
Which led him, following losing the Intercontinental Championship, to go to SummerSlam 2004 to face Steven Richards for the World Championship.
Now, do we really have to do that? Can't we be legitimate about this?
Okay, Mr. Mack. But if we offend any children out there who like Bibles, this ain't you the hate mail.
I don't know. You're the one that mentioned it, not me.
But he went on to SummerSlam 2004 to defeat Chris Benoit to become the youngest World Heavyweight Champion in history, which the record still stands to this day.
Yep. At the age of, I believe, 24 years old.
And that championship reign lasted all but, a month?
Lasted a month. Next night on Raw, we got Orton had defeated Chris Benoit in a rematch on Raw for the world title. And Evolution comes out there celebrating with Orton, and Triple H doing the now iconic thumbs up. It's like, oh yeah, it's great and everything. And then a few seconds later, we get the dreaded thumbs down, and Triple H tells Batista now, because Orton was up on Batista's shoulders, drops him, and then Evolution would go on to beat the living shit out of him.
Which would then send Orton in a, I think it was a good 4-month face run that was very, very lackluster.
And the fact that I don't think Orton was ready at that time to be champion.
Or a face.
Or face, really, because, I mean, he loses it to Triple H at Unforgiven the next month, which I will say this though, Orton did take one hell of a wicked chair shot. But
see,
yeah.
I think the reason why his face run did not last and it was not very successful was the fact that they had painted this picture of Randy Orton being this legend killer, this cocky son of a bitch. And you hated Triple H, but you hated Orton equally. So you didn't really care to see him go against his mentor, or the guy who turned on him, because you didn't feel bad for him. You spent all this time like, oh, he's a dick. I'm glad he got what's coming to him. Like, it's more of a, I'm glad he's getting what's coming to him. So I think the fans never got behind him as a face. And that's why it didn't really last. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Mack?
I do. I get it. And then, of course, we go on, we do the whole thing where Orton lost to Flair, and then that meant that Orton couldn't get another title shot as long as Triple H was champion, and then that led to Survivor Series where it was, the winning team got control of Raw for an entire month, and then there was that Battle Royal, and then that had Benoit and Edge win it, and then we got the triple threat where Hunter I believe he got sent over the barricade via chair shot by Orton. Benoit and Edge are in the ring, and I believe Edge tapped out, and Benoit had his shoulders on the ground, something like that. And then the world title was then vacated, and then we got to the Chamber because Orton was then allowed to have a title shot because
Triple H had technically lost the championship.
Because Hunter wasn't champion anymore.
Which led to Triple H winning the championship back.
And that was a damn good chamber match. And then we go to the Rumble, Orton versus Triple H, which was a solid match. And then pretty much right around after that was when Randy Orton, which I would probably consider this my favorite feud that Orton has been in. This would begin his nearly year-long rivalry with The Undertaker. Is it getting hot in there, Mr. K?
It is getting very hot in here, Mr. Mack.
Is it a tad warm? You need Jimmy to turn down the temperature for you? Taking the shades off now.
How about we shut up and do our job, Mr. Mack?
Well, then fine. You're the one taking all your crap off.
You want me to take all my crap off?
No.
Tie comes next.
I'd rather... Oh, what? That glued-on tie?
Stapled, actually.
No, because I'm pretty sure the last thing we need is to see you actually take off anything else. Anyways, you have a comb?
Of course I have a comb, because I need to look awesome on video.
Oh my God.
Jimmy, how does this look? Thank you. See, he has respect for me.
No one even heard what he said.
I own this channel. I am the CEO of this channel.
No one cared what he said.
Listen, Mr. Mack, you are an employee of the JK Report, and I am the CEO of this channel. You will give me respect. Just like Jimmy, just like Mary at the buffet table.
I didn't know CEO wore clip-ons.
Mr. Mack, you realize how replaceable you are? I could find anyone, any monkey with a webcam to replace you. So you better start giving me some respect.
You better find someone with the right amount of charisma. There ain't many people like that these days.
Mr. Mack, let's just keep going, Mr. Mack, before it gets too bad. Just move on.
What other Canadian fat ass are you going to find?
There's a lot of fat asses in America, and I'll find them.
But none of them are Canadian.
Mr. Mack, Canadians are 1 in a million. I can replace you at the snap of my fingers, Mr. Mack. Don't tempt me. I had Ty on the Monday Night Raw review. Do you think I can find someone just like him to replace you? This simple. This simple. So you better start showing me some respect, just like Jimmy, just like catering, just like everybody else in this building. You will start showing me respect.
Catering? Who are you, Zack Ryder?
Mr. Mack?
You see, I'm so damn good, I even made you laugh.
Mr. Mack? We will talk about this after the video, but we will have a long debrief about your future with the company.
Alrighty then. You just go ahead and do that.
So, but in the meantime, we're on the clock here, so let's try to act professional, if you know what that means.
Fine.
So after he started his feud with Undertaker, following his feud with lackluster face run, where I saw him turn heel against Undertaker and RKO, Stacy Keibler, and all that good shit. It went on to, and actually one thing people don't understand about his match with Taker at WrestleMania 21, Orton was supposed to end the streak.
Because if you notice, I mean, like, you know, it's even like with this year when Lesnar ended the streak. You notice how Randy Orton had that T-shirt there that said Legend Killer Tour, and Taker's name was right there, April 3rd, 2005?
But what happened, I don't know if he got injured before the match or during the match, and it made them, at a moment's notice,
I believe it was during.
Yeah, so it made them switch the idea, say, hey, we can't have an injured guy end the streak because he's not going to be around to capitalize on it. So he went out with his, I forget what injury it was, but he got injured. I think it was like a shoulder injury.
Shoulder, yeah.
Went out for a couple months. He came back, drafted a SmackDown.
It was a very underrated Taker match, too. Taker streak match. We should mention that, too.
Yeah, we should mention that. Then he came back and drafted a SmackDown and teamed up with his father, Cowboy Bob Orton, to have a really good handicap Hell in a Cell match with Taker.
Well, they had the casket match. Well, Orton and Taker had the rematch of SummerSlam, which Orton would end up winning. And then that led to their handicap casket match at No Mercy, which was which I thought was pretty good. Just knowing that, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, I can't talk right now.
Seriously?
Yeah, the contracts are signed. I'll mail them out tomorrow. Everything's okay. I'll get Mr. Mack to sign it. I understand.
Sign what? The hell are you even doing on your phone right now?
I can't talk about this right now. We're in the middle of a video.
What is he doing? Why? What?
At
least I have the courtesy to turn my phone off, asshole.
Yes, sir. I will talk to Mr. Mack, but I can't. Sir, we're in the middle of a video. I can't. Yep. Yes. Yep. Okay. The
You're
Blazers
trying
gone.
to find someone to hack Supercard for you, aren't you?
Sir, I understand. The Blazers gone. Don't worry. I understand. Okay.
Oh my
Okay.
sweet God.
Okay. Okay.
Anyways, moving on. Handicap casket match. Solid match once again. Randy and Bob would end up winning, and they would wheel the casket up to the stage area, and Orton would then proceed to put a hole in the casket, fill it, drench the damn thing in gasoline, and then light it on fire. And I really did like the way that Taz and Cole actually did. I really like the way that they sort of handle that entire thing, because they really did make it seem like, oh my God, Taker is gone, and we probably will never see him again.
Which led to his return at Survivor Series, which is a very, very good Taker return. And, ladies and gentlemen, I need to make a formal apology. I'm a very busy person, and business has to come first, and I had to answer the phone. It was the boss, it was the owner of the studio, we had to talk. It won't happen again. I apologize. But, getting back on track.
If there's any time that a bullshit chant is needed, it's right now.
Mr. Mack, I've been told by the board of directors I need to play nice with you I need to get the video moving along because we need to start getting along, Mr.
Board of
Mac.
directors told me the same thing.
I know, but we just need to get along, Mr. Mac.
But guess
Please.
what? You know what time I handled that? I handled that before the show because if you look right now, here's my phone. It is off right now.
Yeah,
See
Mr.
that?
Mac, I understand, Mr. Mac, but let's just get the video done with, and we'll talk about this afterwards.
All right.
Okay. I gotta stay calm. We need to get along. We need to play nice. Our jobs rely on it. Anyway,
Let's just get this going.
let's get this done with. After his feud with Taker, which really got him over, he went on to feud with Booker T, and not Booker T, Chris Benoit again, and filling in for Booker T.
In the form of replacing Booker T in their best of 7 series, which I believe Orton did what, like 3 of them?
I believe he did win
They
through.
were pretty good, yeah.
And then he went on to probably cut the most controversial promo of his entire life.
Right after
Nobody
Rey
out.
Mysterio won the Rumble, and he told Mysterio, saying, "Oh, you're pointing up, or like, no, you are pointing up to the heavens like Eddie is there. Eddie ain't in heaven. Eddie's down there in hell. And if there's one way to piss off your audience,
There's a good
there
decision.
is your number one key to doing so."
And then he went on to go to WrestleMania triple threat match, where he would lose for the world championship and Mysterio would win it. And then he would have like a weird couple, like I think like another year he had a very weird like stretch after WrestleMania 22.
He bounced a lot of different ways because I know he ended up on Raw like somewhere after WrestleMania, and he had that like half-assed feud with Angle during the whole ECW thing, which led to Angle treating Orton like a bitch at One Night Stand, and then they actually had a pretty legit match at Vengeance later on that month. And Orton would then win, and then he would go on to face Hulk Hogan, because Orton had the hots for Hogan's daughter, Brooke.
Which again was a very weird feud, but it made sense with the whole Legend Killer thing.
Yep.
Still a weird feud.
Yeah, and that would have been the biggest Hogan feud, the biggest legend that Orton would have tried to have gone on and killed.
And then after his thing with Hogan, he went a couple months doing nothing until he finally found his way with teaming up with Edge and Rated RKO.
Which is a tag team that doesn't really get enough credit, I think. I mean, yeah, sure, it was a thrown-together team, but it had a good name. I really, really, really did like the way that they mixed their songs together. That was cool.
I think the issue was once DX and Triple H got hurt, they didn't see a point in keeping them together because the only point that they put together for was to feud with DX for Mr. McMahon.
Exactly, because after DX's feud with Vince was over, there wasn't really much left for them to do than just,
stick around doing random shit.
Just goof around like that one time when they took over Raw.
And then he went on to split up with Edge following, I think it was like a Backlash after Mania 23. They officially stopped teaming.
I think like somewhere before Mania or something. But they did end up winning the tag titles, which is where Orton's only World Tag Team title reign came to the picture.
And then following WrestleMania 23, he went again into a weird stage where he just wasn't doing much of anything.
Then we go on, because after Money in the Bank, there was that, because the only spot I remember of Orton was when he took the bookend from Booker T off the ladder, and then he did that, like, random row of RKOs for, like, 10 straight seconds, which just RKO, RKO, RKO. And then...
But, like, after Mania, he went on to have a championship match at Backlash, but after that...
Which was a damn good Fatal 4-Way between him and Edge and Orton and Cena.
And wasn't Shawn... Yeah, Shawn Michaels was in that, too.
Shawn, yeah.
But, it was... until, like, that fall, I believe, fall or late summer, he really was doing nothing until they really thrusted him into the main event scene with with the birth of Psychotic Orton.
Well, he began doing the whole punt thing. It began with Shawn Michaels at Judgment Day when he punted Shawn on Raw. I mean, like that was kind of the first like unofficial punt because like at that point it was just like a simple kick. I mean, I think a lot of folks just thought that like, oh, that's just a random kick that he did. That's all right, whatever. That's just part of what he's doing right now, which is beating the shit out of him. And that put Shawn on the shelf for, I believe, five or 6 months because he had to go off and get like knee surgery or elbow or some kind of surgery.
And which would send Orton into about 4 months where he'd punt people like RVD, not Triple H, Shawn Michaels.
RVD sold the hell out of anything when it came to being like concussed by Orton or anything like that.
This was really the early stages of Psychotic Orton, which we didn't really see culminate until he punted Cena's dad in the head, I believe, at Unforgiven.
That was right after SummerSlam, I think. Because I think Cena's dad punted Orton when Cena still had him in the STF.
It's going into Unforgiven where that's where they had a match at Unforgiven, I believe, and which Cena won. Mm-hmm. Then they're going to have a last man standing match at No Mercy before Cena got injured.
Well, Cena did face Orton at SummerSlam, but then of course that would lead to Cena winning, and then the whole punt thing with his dad, and then we would get to No Mercy. Cena gets hurt the Monday before on Raw, tears his, I believe he tears his pec. Yep. Yeah, his pec. And we all thought he was going to be gone for a year till 4 months later, but anyways.
Where Randy Orton would win his first WWE Championship and then lose it, then win his second one all in one night.
Randy Orton would become a 2-time champion in one night, and I'm saying right now, if you have not watched Randy Orton's Last Man Standing match with Triple H, go on the network, go on YouTube, go somewhere and find that match. Because Triple H had just competed in 2 matches that night, and to him go up for a third match, compete in a Last Man Standing match, I mean, I've mentioned it time and time again. Triple H is my favorite, and this is one of the reasons why. And Randy had also wrestled that night too in the opening match. But still, like both guys, I mean, that was a fantastic match.
Which then would lead to Shawn Michaels' return to feud with Randy Orton.
Fucking awesome. I don't think anyone expected him to show up that night.
And then you'd finally see, like, I like to say this is the psychotic Orton that you'd see, like, break out as WWE champion. He had a very good run. I forget, when did he lose the championship? Was it 25? No, this is going into 24. And he retained it.
He lost it at Backlash.
Yeah.
After 24.
Which I think was the smartest decision they made. They sent him into Mania 24 in a triple threat against Cena and Triple H. And you thought there's no way he's going to retain it, and then he does.
And he does it by punting Triple H and pinning Cena.
Yeah.
He pinned Cena, people. That's right. Cena actually got pinned at some points in his career.
And then he went on to Backlash to lose it, which one thing I will say about Backlash, I believe that's when he started using the whole power slam of his 5 moves of Doom.
I think so, yeah.
That's where Randy Orton has 5 moves of Doom, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't know if you know that, but he does. That's just Cena. But then he would go on to he would feud in the main event with Triple H, but I don't think he ever really did much
after Backlash. We go to Judgment Day in the cage, which was a pretty damn good match. And then we go to One Night Stand in 08, Last Man Standing. Randy Orton breaks his collarbone. So once that happened, they couldn't really do much because, broken collarbone can't really move.
Although the one thing that did happen during his sabbatical with his broken collarbone is this is where you saw him, the early stages of Legacy being formed. Because you had just gotten Priceless together with Cody Rhodes and DiBiase, and they just got Manu with them. And then around Unforgiven is when Orton kind of said, like, hey.
Yep.
Hey. And then they punted Punk in the head.
Yep.
But it wasn't until Orton returned, I believe, 2 months after that, roughly?
I believe I can't remember his exact return match, but I do remember his first match in a while being at Survivor Series when it was like Team Orton against or I believe it was Team Orton against Team Batista, I think,
I maybe. I think so.
which I
But that's
believe,
I think
yeah,
at Survivor Series is when you finally saw like the formation of Legacy. You finally had Orton with
yeah,
Priceless, and they were a thing.
because I do recall the last two surviving members on Team Orton was Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes.
Yep. And then you go
Oh,
on
yeah,
to Orton wins the Royal Rumble, and this is where Psychotic Orton really takes off.
yeah. Oh,
After,
and also let's not forget earlier on he had punted Ted DiBiase Jr. Jr. comes back, and we're thinking like, oh, he's gonna beat the shit out of Orton. He ends up joining him.
exactly. But then you have after he wins the Rumble, he punts McMahon in the face.
Which
Was it
was
after the Rumble or before the Rumble?
this was actually the Raw before, which was kind of like a spoiler, saying like, oh, look who's gonna win the Rumble.
Yeah, it wasn't really done that well, but it was still a good storyline, which then we're going to probably one of Orton's best feuds, my opinion. His feud with Triple H and McMahon going into WrestleMania 25. The match didn't deliver, but the feud still sold everything about it.
The feud was amazing. I
I
thought
personally think this
the
is
build
Orton's.
up, the build up was good. Sometimes the payoffs weren't as good, but I think the build up is what people will remember because Orton was doing dastardly things like he punted Vince, he punted Shane, he RKO'd Stephanie,
He kissed him.
Kissed Stephanie while she was unconscious. I don't even think that was planned. Orton just did it.
And then, like, I think one thing people don't understand, this isn't a Orton
While
Triple H
while her husband was handcuffed to the ropes,
watching.
watching them. Yeah.
See, this feud accomplished two things. I think long term, it accomplished the fact that they finally broke down the kayfabe wall and like admitted that Triple H and Stephanie were married, which would later come into play now in today's history. So it accomplished that aspect. It broke down that kayfabe wall. And then also, Randy Orton and Triple H, they would have put on a good match, but I think they were screwed by the booking. And you go watch Triple H's DVD, he admits it. That match should not have been a wrestling match. The way the feud was, it could not be held in the contents of a
This
no
was
DQ match.
You see, the one thing I get is like, yeah, sure, a lot of people would think that Undertaker and Shawn Michaels would go on last at WrestleMania. I get that. But see, I mean, like, yeah, sure, I know I'm not that old and shit, but I mean, when it comes to that stuff, I kind of have like the old, no, I guess you could say I kind of have the old school um, mindset because I always think like WrestleMania should close with the world title. Doesn't matter who it is, it should always close with the world title
And see,
because that's what you're building up to.
the one mistake people make too with this match is even if it would have went on before, uh, after if it would have went on before Taker and Shawn, it still would have failed because you had this such animosity between Triple H and Orton. It could not be confined in just a headlock.
And you know and like I knew the second that this was announced, I knew it was not. It was not. It was just not. Was basically I'm trying to say it was not going to be good when they had announced. And this is something I don't get. The general manager Vicky Guerrero states Randy Orton can win the title via DQ or countout.
Couldn't Vince McMahon just overrule it?
Who is the one that punted the chairman? Like, I don't get it.
And the thing people, I understand in kayfabe, like you had the chairman Vince who came back a week before Mania. He could have easily just overruled that.
He could have easily have told Orton, "No, fuck you. We're doing
Either
this in
way,
a street
this
fight."
match would have been 10 times better. I know they don't like gimmick matches at Mania in the main events. I understand that, but this needed, if anything screamed gimmick match, this did.
Hell, Shawn Michaels and Taker, 26. Only way you can win, pinfall or submission. That's still a gimmick match.
Yeah, like I think they didn't need like. I don't think they had to make it like a no DQ or a street fight. I think just you can use weapons, just it's not implied. You know. Like they're not saying no DQ, but I say the only way you can win is pin and submission. That's saying you cannot get disqualified, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I think it needed to hit some kind of gimmick, and if anything, screamed at this did. I don't like screaming. Oh, that is a gimmick, be better. But this feud, the way this feud was built, it screamed they need to beat the shit out of each other. Not do a headlock.
And we never even really got that until the Bash, and even then, when that happened, it wasn't.
It was too little, too late.
Yeah.
But we spent enough time on this. We're gonna fast forward in time just to get the video rolling. Randy Orton went on to be Psychotic Orton for a while and had a really good run with Legacy.
And then this would kickstart Orton and Cena.
Which it would, but we're not gonna spend too much time on it because although this is one of Orton's best feuds, it happened so much. I think everyone gets the story. I don't think it needs much breakdown.
I'll just say this: I didn't like the way that they hot potatoed the title.
No.
That is the one thing I take away from it. The way I hate it when the title gets hot potatoed, especially when it's your top title. Like I don't understand it.
I agree. Which then, after he got done feuding with Cena, and he was still champion. No, he lost the championship. He went on to. They started showing signs of fatigue and breakup in the Legacy, which we finally culminated at Mania with Mania 26, with triple threat between Cody Rhodes, DiBiase, and Orton, which Orton did not need to win this match.
Orton didn't need to win. I mean, I get why he won because they were trying to establish him like, yep, he's a face. But then they could have done that any other way because hell, the next night on Raw, Orton teamed up with Cena. Like that could have solidified it right there.
And here's the thing with Orton's face turn. I'm gonna sum it up. The whole time him as a face, the whole 2 years of it, bullshit.
3 years of it, actually.
The only good thing we got out of this was a good series of matches between him and Christian. Everything else, him as a face, was bullshit.
Don't forget, we did get that badass RKO.
Yeah, we did.
From Bourne when he went to do Airborne and.
I agree, but his face run, it doesn't even. All he did was win a handful of world championships, get drafted to SmackDown, do bullshit to bullshit.
Become one of the most hated wrestlers ever on the entire internet when he beat Christian 2 days after he won the world title.
That's what I gotta say.
I'll admit, I was pretty astonished. I was shocked. I didn't think it would happen. I mean, like, I knew, well, like, you know, obviously every champion is going to eventually lose it. I just didn't think Christian would lose that quickly.
Which after Orton had his last, the only thing that really happened in this him as a face was he basically got John Cena's leftovers.
Pretty much.
After Cena got done feuding with Punk went to Orton. After Cena got done feuding with Kane went to Orton. Orton basically got John Cena's hand-me-downs.
And whether people like it or not, Randy Orton is the number 2 guy in the company.
Yeah, but him as a face, him as a heel, and I will get to this in a minute, but him as a face was bullshit. And I think the way they watered him down so much as a face, it ruined his current heel run. Which we finally, a year ago, at SummerSlam, he finally got him as a heel again. I honestly thought it was going to be God's gift to everything. It was going to fix everything wrong with Orton. Boy, was I wrong. Basically, they tried so hard to convince us that Psychotic Orton was back. If that's Psychotic Orton,
in which the only thing psychotic that Orton did was RKO Bryan in the table. That's it.
Yeah, so if he's psychotic, I need to go to the loony bin.
Well, but then again, Bryan's wife watched. But.
Like we saw flashes of Psychotic Orton, but the announcers killed it because every time they saw the flashes, Cole jizzed all over his pants.
Yeah, definitely Randy Orton's title run he had it from SummerSlam to Night of Champions, which he lost it to Bryan, which I thought was absolutely
Stupid.
ridiculous. Then the title was vacated for like over a month until Hell in a Cell. Then Orton and Bryan would go on to have a solid match at Battleground until they fucked everything up with the ending. And then we go on to Hell in a Cell. Shawn Michaels is the guest referee, and we all know that if Shawn Michaels is going to be there, he's going to be in the eye of the storm. So obviously something's going on. Let's see if he's going to super kick Orton or he's going to kick Bryan. And eventually he kicked Bryan because Hunter would then get involved and Bryan would do the running knee on Hunter, and Shawn kicked him and Orton became champion again.
Which then he held it until WrestleMania where he loses to Bryan.
Yeah. And just one thing I want to say now, just like after that, Orton went on to have one of the most stale reigns I've ever seen. He had I want to say the worst match of his reign was with Big Show at Survivor Series. I'm sorry, I don't bitch about a lot of things in wrestling. I try not to, but that one was absolute garbage. And then we go on to TLC. Had a pretty good TLC match with Cena. Orton would then become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Which
one thing I want to say real fast. Nobody wanted to see Orton and Cena again at Rumble, but here's the thing: that match had to happen because they needed to keep Cena out of the Rumble because they couldn't harm Cena. They need him to look strong. So I'm glad they put him somewhere else besides the Rumble.
And then again, like, who else was there? Who else was there for Orton to face?
Exactly. It was a nice filler thing. But
then again, that was too early.
People bitched too much about it. But then he went on to lose.
The crowd, of course, the crowd basically hijacked the entire match. But, in hindsight, it was a decent match. I don't think it was bad. Just people just shit on it because they didn't want to see Orton. They didn't want to see Orton and Cena.
Which I'll give it a pass that one time. I'm on that boat. I'm tired of seeing it.
Yeah.
But in that situation, I'll give it a pass. And then he went on to lose it at Mania.
Yep.
And then he went on to reform Evolution.
Which was pretty awesome.
And then Evolution kind of ceased. Then we got him back with Authority, him basically being Triple H's bitch. And we're here today with Randy Orton, still Triple H's bitch, feuding with, I believe, Reigns?
I'm not sure what the deal is with him now because this past week on Raw, we had him in a highlight reel segment with the Authority and Cena and Reigns. So who knows what the deal with that is.
Yeah, basically, there's Randy Orton's career in a nutshell. I'm not sure how long this video is. I hope you stayed watching it. Hope you enjoyed it. Go back and watch our career breakdown for John Cena, our Fave 5, for our favorite wrestlers of all time, our Fave 5 WWE feuds, our Monday Night Raw review for September 1st, 2014. If you enjoyed this video, hit thumbs up. If you didn't like it, go fuck yourself. Leave a comment in the comment section. What do you think? What do you think of this breakdown? What do you think of Randy Orton? What do you think of my shades?
What do you think of that bullshit clip-on he's wearing?
Yeah, Mr. Mac, I understand. We have to play along, okay? Hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at RadyK13. Follow him at Jamie Lee Mac. Watch our other videos. Go follow at WWE Retweeting, a good friend of the show. And we will see you next week for the career breakdown of Edge. I'm Mr. K. He's Jamie. Peace out.
Goodbye.